I'm at Farmington Gardens today, actually in their display garden. So remember, when you come here, you have to come through this display garden. MJ, it's just gorgeous here.
Thanks. Yeah, we've been working really hard at keeping it nice and lots of flowers. Everything's blooming right now. It looks great.
I love to come see this because you can see things that are big, and then you can go shopping and go bring it home. But
Exactly.
you know what it's going to look like.
Yeah, you can see what it is, what it looks like in its environment as it's growing after it's been established for a few years. Yeah.
Well, another part of gardening is container gardening, and so we're kind of doing a different twist with it. We always talk about annuals, but we're talking about perennials today.
Yeah, so perennials, perennials are going to last year after year, and that's really the beauty of them. They give you lots of full color and bloom throughout most of spring, summer, and into fall, but then they come back again in the next spring. So in this particular one, I really got, this is definitely for sun. Got some different textures, different colors. We've got the radio red salvia, which is really going to attract the hummingbirds. It's going to give it a little bit of that height. And then the yellow coreopsis, which is an elfin gold. And I like to look for things that are going to be a little bit shorter, because many perennials can get 3-4 feet tall. Sure. So ideally, about 1 to 2 feet is perfect for a container perennial. And then just adding in some grasses.
It's a pretty one.
Nice textures and colors. And then I've also got actually a really small shrub. That's an evergreen shrub, and this is an abelia, and that's going to offer lots of color.
That is nice, and I love that there's different textures, and then there's like color echoing, so you kind of pick up the color here and there, so it really makes a cohesive container.
Yeah, definitely.
Now this one's totally different.
This is completely just simple, just a nice classic, easy planting. I love the gardenias, the hardy gardenias. This is perfect for a porch or a patio when you're sitting out, just enjoying the sunshine or the afternoon. The fragrance is very sweet, just that real true gardenia fragrance. So it's nice.
It's pretty to me that you've picked up the color of the pot, and so that's something to think about too, is the container.
Yeah, definitely. You want to certainly look at the size of the container and the colors, and the contrast of different colors.
Which you've done here, because you have this kind of beautiful cobalt container with pretty colors to kind of set that off.
Yeah, and so with the colors here, I've got the lime, bright green, yellow, creeping Jenny, and also kind of mimic that in the grasses here. So we've got a couple of different textures. Again, there's a nice small evergreen shrub that will do a little bit of flowering for us. The dianthus, which is going to stay nice and short, and then the echinacea. This powwow white echinacea is really pretty. It's only going to be about 2.5 feet tall, so it's perfect for a container.
Nice, nice. And we have one more over here. Let's go talk about that one.
So this one is one that we did plant last year, and we've just refilled it with some annual color for the verbena. So we've got a euphorbia, we've got the grass, and the ajuga is a ground cover. Ajugas are, a nice ground cover, so those are great additions to a container to act as kind of those creeping.
Very nice, and I love that you have a grass that's blooming, and the textures, you got round textures, you have grassy textures, really making it pretty.
Yeah.
MJ, you have some peonies here, but I can't believe you're going to put those in these little pots.
Yeah, so these are a new peony. They're called patio peonies. And they are small. They're only going to be about 15 to 18 inches tall and wide. So they make this nice round bush, really. Would be beautiful just as on its own in a container, maybe with a few little creepers hanging down the sides. Lots of colors, double flowers, double whites, pinks, and a little bit of a white and creamy color, red too.
Oh, how fun.
Great for containers. It's a great option if you've got a small space, but you love peonies.
Ah, true, true.
Yeah.
And so we have one more set of containers to go see, so let's go over there.
Okay.
MJ, those other containers were all in the sun, but some of us have shade, so here we are in the shade, right?
Yeah, so we've got I've got 3 great shade planters. I like when you have a grouping of pots, if you can get them to match, and still use the plants a little differently. In this one, I've got a nice tall Japanese maple, and then for the creeping plants, we've got the ground covers, ajuga again, and you can use almost any ground cover. The vincas also work really well. I've also added in the purple campanulas, that really nice full color, and then some ferns. just for a little different texture.
Nice. And a Japanese maple, you're really known for those here.
Yeah, we do grow a lot of maples here. Yeah, and this will also offer a lot of color in the fall.
Oh, that is nice. It's nice to think about that.
Thinking ahead.
So we know how to take care of garden beds, or, you know, we're always working on that. So how do we take care of containers?
So container perennials are a little bit different. You do need to make sure that you're fertilizing them really well, because what happens is you keep watering and watering, that just depletes the soil. So we've got some fertilizers here. If you're really wanting to push out those blooms, you know, we'd recommend something that's going to encourage those buds and blooms to bloom. And then just an all-purpose fertilizer for a lot of the foliage and small shrub plants. And I'd recommend you fertilize once a month.
And then what about watering?
Watering in the summertime, especially, you're going to have to water them every day, sometimes a little in the morning and again in the evening. But just keeping an eye on it, making sure that it doesn't completely dry out.
Right. Well, you know, those are so many good ideas, because sometimes we forget about adding different types of plants together. They don't always have to be annuals. So you can come out to Farmington Gardens, talk to MJ and all the staff, and pick out some plants for your garden or for your container garden. Thanks so much for all the ideas.
Yeah, thanks.